Hello, friends. This is Elizabeth Emmer, your English language coach. I'm here to help you on your English journey. Today, our profile is Roger Arturo Perez Toral. He's a young man who is bilingual and bicultural and will inspire you by showing you how he uses English for his schooling and for his job. Arturo just got a bachelor's degree in video game design. Such an interesting interview, learning all about this aspect of technology. Arthur is going on to use his English language ability and proficiency to study a master's degree in the same area in Canada. Do be inspired by Roger Arthur's example. Enjoy, and we'll be with you on your English language journey. All best wishes from here. Bye. And this is our 6th English for Informational Technology, or IT class, and we're so happy to have Miss Maritza Carla and our guest, Roger Arthur Perez Toral. So welcome to all of you. So I know who I think is called Arturo very well, since I've known him his entire life, but I wanted to have you meet him and have a chance to chat and find out more how he uses English in his work. So I know, Carla, you don't know anything about Arturo. What question could you ask him? Uh-oh, she's thinking.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you study computer programming?
Well, I did study some computer programming in high school, but my actual university studies, my bachelor's degrees on video game design. So I do know quite a bit of the computer and IT area.
Oh, so Arturo, is programming different than video game
Design?
design?
Yes. So
Oh.
I would say programming is one small part of video game design.
Oh,
Because video game design basically is the whole development of the game. So it includes what's programming, the side of art, music, I don't know, maybe like 3D modeling, the whole narrative area. So it's basically just a bunch of little areas that mix together to create the video game. And one of those areas, it's programming. So I do know a bit of that.
know that. You
Yeah.
know what, Arturo, I thought that you got a bachelor's degree, a licenciatura in programming / video game.
Oh,
So it's
no.
bigger than I thought.
Yes.
Oh, so it's like you come up with the story, how the music goes, and how you play the game, and
Yeah, like all the different mechanics, how it's gonna work, the different codes and the programs to make everything function. That's like one of the most important parts, which is programming.
and then do you give this idea to a programmer?
Yes. So, well, it depends. So if you're like the top designer, like the main designer, you give all the ideas, right? You tell them what to do, what you want them to make or whatever. But like, for example, me, who's on like the rookie levels, just starting
out, right?
So my job would be to basically communicate with all the different areas, kind of be like a middleman for all the different areas. Like, oh, the programming sites have this limitations, and we can't do this and this and this. And then I gotta take that information and give it to, like, I don't know, the person on the arts department to like make everything work and have everyone on the same page.
Oh, so a lot of coordination.
Yes.
Wow. And the reason Carla's asking you that is because I told her you were a programmer, which is not exactly true, Carla. Sorry about that. And B, because she is studying programming
Oh, okay. I see.
at her young age. So
Mhm.
she's like a high school student.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I did take some programming classes during my high school years too, so I do know that much.
Wow. Well, that's
Mhm.
interesting. Did all
Yeah.
the students studying programming at the Edron?
No, so that was one of the options we had on during high school, because in high school you kind of select your subjects, and I decided to go with computer science, which
Oh, how
taught us.
interesting.
Mhm.
And the real question is, why did you want a degree in video games?
Uh,
Play
well,
lots of
I've always enjoyed like just making some entertainment for people, where it's like just telling a story or just coming up with a game for people to play, or just something that gets people together and makes them have fun.
that.
So that was basically like the main thing. I mean, and I also like really enjoy video games, so that also uh affected my decision.
Have you always played video games when you were a boy?
Yeah, I mean, I started at a very young age. Let's say probably that around 8 or 9.
Oh,
I
that's young.
played. Yeah, mostly because since my sisters are older, like 10 years older than me, they had like video game consoles, and I just started playing with them.
Oh, your sisters also played video games?
Yes, I mean they don't play video games anymore, but back when like they were on their teenage years, they did.
You know, I always think of it's more of a boy thing, but I guess that's not true,
Yeah.
right? So it's both boys
Hmm.
and girls play video games.
Yeah. Hmm.
And are there some video games that you make like for children, and there's others that you make for teenagers and others like for adults?
Well, just like in music, how there's like different genres of music, like you have pop, you have jazz, and whatever. There's
Mhm.
also genres for video games. So, for example, they call them serious games, like the ones that are supposed to be educational, or have like a purpose of like teaching the user something. So,
Uh-huh.
for example, I don't know, uh, a video game that teaches the young children to do simple math, like 2 + 2 = 4. That would be considered a serious game. And then there's also other games like racing games or fighting games. There's a multitude of different genres. And one of my projects during high school was to make a video game. And I decided to go with something a bit simple. I mean, it was my first video game, right?
Yeah.
And I decided to make a typing game which teaches the user how to like use the keyboard with both hands,
Oh, good.
and basically just making it more efficient for them to type, like getting to know where each letter is, and putting them on a timer and typing different words, and then just like stepping up to like typing them full sentences, like having different levels of typing.
Sounds really interesting. It sounds like something that you should publish or,
Yeah.
right?
I thought about it. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's not that great of a game. it's it's
Oh,
kind of it's kind of like, I don't know, like a prototype.
well, good.
Yeah.
Albordi, I'm happy that you're with us. It's,
Yes, I
are you at your house now?
yes,
And you have
the
TV and internet.
yeah, that's why I'm connected right now. They solved the problem
Wonderful.
like an hour and a couple of minutes ago, like in 30 minutes ago.
It finally got fixed a couple of minutes ago.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
wonderful. Well, this is Roger Arturo Perez
Hi,
Torres.
Roger.
Hello.
Albordi. I was just telling him that you were fighting with the internet and fighting with the electricity. Both.
Yeah, because yesterday we have a thunderstorm that we didn't expect, and it was all the evening and also the during the day also in the midnight. There was a lot of rain here in Cancun, so I think that there was, I don't know how they call the central power of the electricity here. Maybe just broke down, maybe.
Maybe. Kind of like it always does in Cancun, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
You have to adapt.
You have to buy your plant.
Oh, like her own generating plant?
Yes.
Well, maybe
Oh,
so.
that could be a good solution. But the internet service, one of the companies send a message, okay, we have a problem to nearby your house and another points. So the connection will be ready soon. But soon is not in an hour or two. It's during the
Yeah, you
day.
have found, Albordi, that the concept of time is quite different there.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not so that fast that I would love, but
Yeah, Albordi has decided that there in paradise, time goes really slow, really
yeah.
slow. Albordi, I had thought that Roger Arturo was a programmer, and it turns out it's not true. And he got a degree in video game design.
Oh, but it's really interesting.
Yes.
It's quite trending right now.
Mhm.
But do
Yeah.
you
Really
know how
popular.
to but do you have the knowledge to program the video, or you just do like the look and feel of the
No,
of
I
the
do have some knowledge in programming.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was just saying that he studied programming in high school, kind of like Carla. Imagine.
Oh,
Yeah,
Isn't that interesting? I mean, nobody ever thought about that when I was in high school. Nobody even thought about a computer when I was
right.
in high school. Yeah. There's a slight time difference here.
Yeah, they teach that from second grade, not in primary.
Now we say that they have a computer in the crib, like Carla. As soon as they're born, they throw a computer in the crib. So someone like Carla is quite adept.
Mhm.
And where did you study this career?
So I started on 2019 and I graduated last year.
Oh, but I mean, where?
Oh, where? Oh, it's called Sai Institute, Mexico.
What does that stand for, Arturo?
It's
It's an acronym of something.
yes, it's School of Audio Engineering, SAE. Yes.
Oh, that's
Yes.
interesting.
So the school originally started as an audio engineering school in Australia,
Okay.
and I think that was like, I don't know, like 30 years ago or something like that. Kind of old now. And like a long time, it just started like dispersing around the world. And there's one campus here in Mexico City, and that's where I attended.
But it's very famous for computer people. Also?
Yes. Well, I would say it's more popular as a university of arts in general, like just
Okay.
including video games, theater.
Do you have like design, graphic design, and
Yes.
that all other areas?
I had a bunch of like different classes that covered multiple different like it's, I guess you would say like careers. Like I had careers that would go with like architecture or with music. There was art, design, programming, which is one of them. So yeah.
Wow, sort of a liberal arts education.
Mhm.
hmm
I didn't know that. I thought it was just computer people.
No.
Oh.
No. So it's mostly an arts university because there's video games, there's animation, there's cinema, audio, and something
Maybe
else.
web.
Yes, I think there was web. Yeah, it's just like a lot of like different like specific type of careers.
Well, I don't know if you know this, Arturo, but Miss Rocio Salas's son, Ivan, who
Mhm.
I've also known his entire life, so I call him Ivancito, and I
Mm.
call Arturo Arturito, by the way. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I've known them so long. But he also studied at the same university. I
Yes.
don't know if you know Ivan or
Uh,
one.
no, I
I
don't,
think it was a
no,
different
I don't know him.
couple of years difference than you.
Yeah, because I think the year I started my career there, I think he graduated
I
the
think
year
so.
previous to that.
A couple of
Mhm.
years difference.
Yeah.
But from what I know, this is a well-known school, a well-known university, and
Mhm.
and prestigious.
Yes. So, as I was saying, it's almost globally. Like I think there's around 50 different campuses around the world, and well, one of them is here in Mexico. Like there's on Australia, there's on Europe, Asia, and the United States, Canada.
And it is a university degree. I mean, you got a
Yes.
licenciatura, right?
Yes, it's a licenciatura, a bachelor's. Yeah.
In front of a bachelor's degree in front of the SEP, right?
Yep.
Wow. And now tell me about your English. I mean, obviously you speak English, but courses were all of the courses in English?
No. So, for since the universities here in Mexico, all the classes are taught in Spanish,
Oh, really?
right? But there are some materials. Most of the materials that they gave us, like books or videos or I don't know, articles, those were all in English, and they do ask you for you to know like a decent amount of English for you to understand the material that's given to you. And then some of the like presentations or works that you have to be in English, or is preferred to be in English since the industry is mostly English spoken.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And then we assume your professors were also bilingual.
Yes, most of them, yes. Mhm.
I mean, were they mainly, were there any foreigners or were they all
Um,
Mexican?
no, I think they were all Mexican. I think they were all Mexican.
But
Yeah.
with enough English?
Yes, yeah, they knew English and they could speak English without any problems. We did have some uh like talks with different like programmers or game designers that came from outside of the country, like completely foreigners, and they only spoke in English. And so my teachers would kind of like host this talk, and they would ask the questions and everything.
Mhm.
So there was a
And
lot of English content.
well, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And did you get classes of English?
No, not in the university.
Ah.
Well,
Mhm.
you already had a lot of English before you went to the university.
Yes, that's
But
too much English.
yeah, I thought for the other students, no, because
Oh, did the other students study English at the university?
No. So I don't think the university taught any or had any English courses, but I did have some of my classmates have like external tutoring on English.
Mm,
hmm
okay. Kind of like what we're doing today.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay. Um, and I understand from your mom that you're doing something now, like you're working now, or is that servicio social, or what are you doing now?
So as of right now, I'm working as a video game tester,
A
which
video game what?
tester
Oh,
testing.
tester. Oh,
Yes.
very boring, no?
I mean, it's kind of fun the first month, month and a half, and then it's just really boring.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I would think it'd be so much fun.
I mean,
Unless you like the game, the video game.
yeah, but I mean, you have to play it every single day.
Well, but you know, there are people that are so keen to play
Yeah,
the
that is
some
true.
certain video games. So
Hmm.
So it
Yeah.
has to be something that's really interesting for you to not get bored.
Yeah. Hmm.
Wow. And I understand from your mom that your colleagues or your workmates, some of them don't speak English very well. Is that true?
Yeah, no, some of them don't.
Oh, and can they do the game? Can they do their job without English?
Yeah, I mean, they know enough English to like get them around and like get the job done. But there are some instances where they would ask, for example, me for help on like, how do you say this, or what's the translation for this, or what's the correct term for this action or whatever. And then I would tell them and like kind of teach them, and then
Yeah.
that's like how they would learn. Yeah.
Well,
You
they're
should,
certainly invited to our class if you want to
you should,
join us.
yeah, you should send them to us.
Yeah.
We'll send you a little flyer and then you give them to everybody.
Yeah.
But guess what, girls? Arturo is soon to be in Canada.
Hmm. Yeah.
oh, are you going to study more about your career?
Yes. Actually, yes.
Yes, are you doing a master in Canada?
Yes, exactly. I'm doing a master's degree in video game design.
In the same institution?
No, this is a different university. Hmm.
Tell us
Ah,
more,
cool.
Arthur. What is it all about, and where, and etc.
So I don't know how you pronounce the university, but I
Oh,
think
well, hopefully you find out soon.
yes.
Right in the chat.
But I believe it's pronounced Kwantlen Polytechnic University. The first word is the one I don't have. I think it's Kwantlen or
Oh,
something like that. I just call it KPU.
oh, KPU. Oh, well,
Yeah,
that makes sense.
and it's a lot easier.
Yeah.
And and so KPU is located in Surrey, which is about 30 minutes from Vancouver, Canada. And so I'll be moving there in about, I think, a month. I think less than a month. And I'll be just basically studying the same thing but advanced.
So the same thing you just finished studying, you're going to be like at a higher level or
Yeah.
more
So
advanced?
I think it's more advanced, and like we're gonna be seeing like the more like a broader amount of topics, and we'll be going like we'll go over like certain topics more.
More in depth or something.
Yeah.
And out there in the world, is there a need for somebody who has a master's in video game design?
Well, I don't know if there's a need.
But this
Because
is what we want to do.
yeah, I don't know if there's a need, because like since it's a newish career, like all the video games that were done before this career was ever invented were mostly engineers or programmers, graphic designers, so they really didn't have like an actual degree on video game design. So it's not necessarily that it's needed, but it's very helpful to have knowledge on this specific area. Like instead of applying for a job as a video game designer when you're a graphic designer, it's a lot tougher to get the job as if you were like a video game designer because you actually studied for that job.
Wow. Well, I know Alberti said that, it sounds like the new thing, right?
Yeah. So
And the field of video games is expanding or
yes, it's growing a lot and really fast.
okay. So more and more games are made?
Yes. Oh, tons of games are made every year, from like AAA games, which are like the big games like Mario, Pokemon, and like smaller games that are made from one person only that take a couple
Ah.
years. Yeah, a lot of people are making games.
One day we were fixing the American Center. I don't know if you remember that, Elizabeth. And I invited my nephew to help, no, to help us to clean and paint and all that. And the husband was a video game designer, no? I don't know if a professional,
Wow.
like a bachelor, but he was in that field. And he came and said, no, you should, instead of painting the wall white, or you should put the cartoons and this and that. The ideas were like applied to the American Center. It was very interesting.
Wow. Wow. Are you looking forward to going to Vancouver, to
Yes.
Canada?
Yes, I've never been to Canada, so I'm excited.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
Wow. How exciting. Well,
Yeah.
thank you to your mother and father for all the English that you have. So, I mean,
Oh,
it's
yes, of course.
obviously very easy to get in, to keep on studying,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
So, thank you, mother and father, right?
Mhm. Yes.
Wow. Do you guys have any questions of Arturo? He goes
Do
by
you,
2 names,
do
Roger
you
and
know
Arturo.
do you know the Full Sail University that is like specialized in that
Full
kind of
Sail?
things? Full
Yes.
Sail University.
Mhm. I think it's located in Florida. And actually one of my classmates from my career, my bachelor's degree is doing a master's degree there in Full Sail.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so it's also a pretty prestigious uh university. That university, I think it's about 80% focusing on video games. So yeah.
Oh, so much
Yes.
more.
Yes, that one I'd say that one is kind of like more specific to that career.
And I know Miss Maritza was familiar with that one in Florida.
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
guess I found it one day, and I think it's cool, no? Because it's amazing what they do, and the facilities and everything.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
They have really good equipment.
Yes.
It's
Well,
really nice.
it's amazing that this is a job. It just sounds like a fun thing to do. And here at the house, our Deanna's boyfriend is a professional video gamer.
Oh,
This is
okay.
like tournaments,
Hmm.
uh, and they make big bucks. Mhm.
Yeah. Hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, like a whole different world. And he's young, and wow. We hope you make big bucks, Arturo.
I hope so too.
Hope you send it back to Mexico, not physically here.
Yes.
Wow. Imagine.
Hmm.
Carla, can you think of another question for Arturo?
What language did you study for programming?
Okay, so the language, I know a couple of languages. I first started with Python, which is really good, to kind of get the hang of like the first steps on programming. And then I moved on to JavaScript, which I really didn't like.
Oh,
It's
really?
kind of I don't know. I find it really confusing, that specific language. I don't know why.
Oh,
But then the ones I
definitely
like more is,
popular, but that's
yeah,
interesting.
it's one of the most popular, and it's one of the most used basically I think it's web design. Uh, but the ones I use the most and the ones I learned the most is C# and C++, which are basically the ones that are mostly used for video game design. And yeah.
What about you, Carla? What are you studying?
Python and JavaScript. Python and JavaScript, but I prefer JavaScript.
Okay.
Oh, the one that Archie doesn't like is the one you like.
Yes.
Well, you're
Mhm.
opposites.
You don't think that, Carla, you don't think that is confusing? Or what are the advantages that you see in Java?
Can you repeat, please?
Yeah, I was asking why do you think is better the Java, or why do you prefer it? And if you think it's not confusing.
Yeah, Arthur just said he thought it was confusing, but you say you like it.
Yes. Well, I prefer JavaScript because it's more easy for me.
Oh, it's
Mhm.
easier for you?
Yes,
Oh,
this language.
I think it mostly depends on like the way every person thinks and like thinks of the problems. Because for example, I think in Python you can do it one way, and in JavaScript you could do it in like a completely different way. And it just really depends on like which way you think of like solving the problem.
isn't that interesting? You know,
Yes.
I'm talking with a woman in my organization, and she deals with gifted children or the
Hmm.
gifted in education.
Hmm.
And so I was asking her, well, what is the meaning of gifted? You know, probably Arthur and Carla are both gifted, you know, as far as young people, and probably Maritza and Albordi also. And so I was asking my friend Janet, and I said, well, what does gifted mean? She said, well, you could be talented like music or art or working with wood or textile. Uh, you could be like academically, you know, like you
Hmm.
pass all your classes. But the third kind is thinking
Hmm.
skills, how you look at problems and how you solve problems could label you as gifted. How about that? So
Yeah.
I think your answer, Arthur, is so interesting. You know,
Hmm.
one person thinks differently than another person.
Yes, and I mean it also depends on like what language you're using, because like there's a different ton of different languages on programming, right? And some of them allow you to do certain things a lot easier than others. So that also depends on which one you find it easier. Like, for example, for me that I make video games, I prefer C++, which is just the one that's basically more beneficial for the whole process. But on the other side, you might want to use, I don't know, maybe HTML for like web design. So it really depends on like what's the problem and what's your way of solving this problem.
Yeah, it goes into thinking skills, kind of like what
Hmm.
I'm talking about. You know,
Yeah.
you might or might not think that you're gifted, but
Hmm.
it is a whole critical thinking skills. Um,
Yeah.
and Albordi, within web design, because I know you, well, I think Maritza and her husband all do web design. Um, is there something in particular you use, Albordi?
Oh, I use this I have problem
H,
to pronounce today. HTML programming that use CSS and also uses Java. But you have multiple options to build a website.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Depends on what, as Roger said, depends on what you need. How do you want to the website runs and how to make it faster. You need also to have a clean code because it's the way that everything works smoothly on the web.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
have no idea what a clean code is. Everybody,
Yeah,
all four of you,
no,
yeah,
because
I know
you
what a
can
clean
see
code is.
you can see the website that has some animations and also
Huh?
banners and sliders, but there is something called the back. That's the front end. What the user sees, and
Uh-huh.
there is the back end where the programmer and also is trying to like build what the designer wants. I want the slider here in the header. I want
Hmm.
like some animations be in the background on the side. So everything will work just if you have a support of a programmer. So
Hmm.
everything
And you
behind is a
know,
lot of numbers and a lot of also
sentence.
characters that you would say it is like Chinese, you would understand it, but a programmer would know it.
Mhm.
So
And you know, in this this course that I'm going to get Maritza and Albordi to sign up for, Arthur, this might be super easy for you, and we're letting Carla have a pass on this one because she's supposed to pass her. You know, she has to focus on getting through high school. But
Right.
this course that we found, it's called English for IT,
Okay.
and it's a 30-unit course. What would you say? Like, it's not exactly online. It's kind of like a self-study
Oh, okay.
kind of
Mhm.
thing. I guess you'd call it kind of like programmed instruction. Okay.
Mhm.
So it's talking about English, but it's related to computers. And so they have like reading and writing and vocabulary, that type of thing. But the reason I'm mentioning this now, and you know, we might even get Arthur to sign up to be a guinea pig also. One of the readings is about the front and the back and all that you
Mhm.
said, Gordon. You're going to understand this reading much better
yeah.
than me. But I do know the difference between front and back, so that helped me a little bit.
Yeah, it
Arthur,
will be
you know,
easier for
everybody
you.
in this group is really, you know, much more. I
Mhm.
a different generation, that's for sure. You know, Arthur, Carla even has a special computer at her house to help
Mhm.
her with programming.
Oh,
What is that
really?
called, Carla? Or what is that computer? Or can you explain about your computer?
Yes. Well, my school, it's about programming, computer programming,
Mhm.
just for this topic, programming.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
And it's online, just online. So I
Okay.
study at my home about programming. Like we do, for example, websites or apps or another things
Mhm.
about programming.
But you were saying that you have a special computer. Like Emiliano and I have Mac Air, you know, MacBook Air.
Yeah.
I mean, I know what that is, right? I can't remember, Maritza, what kind of computer you have.
I have, let me check because I have a laptop.
You have something that you're using right now.
Yes, it's a Lenovo.
Oh, I remember Carla said she has an ASUS.
Oh,
Oh,
an
okay.
Asus.
Yeah. Thank you, Albordi. You know,
Okay.
well,
Okay.
Arthur knows what that is.
Yes.
You know, I didn't have any clue what that was.
Yeah, some
Mhm.
computers, like my kids' computer, have like super fast video card, so they
Mhm.
can play the games, no? And I guess Arturo has that kind of things, no?
Yes.
You have
Well, I
something
built my
special?
computer.
Cool.
I was going to ask you if you build your computer.
Yes, I did.
Wow.
You did?
Yeah, I think I built it on
Oh, kind of like a little
2016.
Frankenstein kind of idea.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I bought all the different parts and I just put them together.
wow.
Okay.
And you know, Arturo's the person that figured out our drawing of the inside of the computer. Hey,
Yeah.
Arturo.
Oh,
Perfect.
Mhm.
We
One day,
tried.
yeah, one day we made a computer, but not like you did. We called an uncle that makes computers, and we said we want this, we want that, and that kind.
Mhm.
But he made it for us.
Oh, okay. I
Oh,
see.
okay. Yeah, and I'm referring just to the little drawing that
Mhm.
we're trying to label.
Yeah, the diagram.
And you know, Arthur, we tried our very best. We You know, I just figured, well, it's in there someplace. And as I
Yeah.
told the others, I said, Arturo, I said, I don't really care what's inside. I just want it to work.
Yeah, I mean that's the important part, right? If it's all connected wrong, it doesn't work. I mean, what even is the point? I mean, it has to
Yeah,
work.
like I really don't care what's inside the computer. I just want it to work, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes in primary they teach that, no? What is the CPU and all that? And I say, why they
Yeah.
teach this to kids?
Oh, well, yes. Yeah, you know, Arthur, what Miss Maritza's talking about is there's little children, even as young as preschool, and the teacher goes, this is the CPU, and this is the this, and this is the
Mhm.
that. They never know how to use it, but
Yeah.
they know the word.
They know the
Yeah.
word. They don't know where it is.
Really. Okay, so Carla, you have to disappear because it's now 5 o'clock.
Yes.
I mean,
Goodbye, Carla.
Bye, Carla.
much as we
you.
love you, Carla, you have to run to your class, okay?
Yeah.
I'm happy to see you, and we'll organize another session this week if at all possible. Okay,
Yeah.
sounds good. We'll talk.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.
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 Bye.